Hundreds of people have fled the Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo after the M23 rebels overran the Congolese border town of Bunagana near the Uganda border. This has created tension in the mineral-rich region, even with over 100 rebel groups with varying interests. On the heels of this uncertainty, the Forum of Parliaments of the Great Lakes region, the Secretary-General Onyango, says the situation is worrying and is calling on all factions to cease fire.
First of all, the parties, as I said, we call upon them to cease fire immediately and respect, the rights of people in the area they are operating in. Number two, we would advise them to continue with the negotiations and try to come to agreements that may be in the interest of the region. And of course, number three, we do welcome the initiative that has been put forward by the East African community. The current chairman of the community, His Excellency Uhuru Kenyatta, of taking their East Africa force. But of course, with that force, with the time also, we may have to expand it, because within the framework of the African Union, we have the Eastern African Standby Force, which has more countries that actually are the ones that are in East Africa. So we will call upon them also to work hand in hand with that other AU mechanism to make sure that the force is expanded.
According to Onyango, the situation in DRC is worrying and is one of the reasons why the forum was formed to tackle such issues.
Countries that in the Great Lakes region are neighboring Congo, with the exception of Kenya, and it was Kenya only at that time, but now with the creation of South Sudan, with the Sudan. So whatever happened in Congo, it affects the other country. If Congo sneezes, other countries catch colds, and I think it's a very worrying situation. And of course, the other aspect is that the conflict in Congo, why it is worrying, it has quite a number of actors. Some of them are originated from foreign countries. You imagine you have rebels like ADF, which originated from Uganda. We have others that are operating the Red Tabora from Burundi, all that kind of combination. So you have the foreign rebels have run to that area because they know the area is insecure. And when they reach there, they have formed alliances with other groups. You have the Islamists have now joined.
As a forum, are you concerned or likely to convene a meeting, an emergency meeting, to see if you can tackle this?
There have been consultation and interaction between the different stakeholders, especially at the executive level. They're led by the chairperson of the ICGLR summit, the president of Angola at that level. But also as a parliamentary forum, we are trying to engage with the different parliamentarians, because with us as a forum of parliaments, we normally work through parliaments.
As a forum, how far can you go in trying to push the executive so that they act, especially on some of the recommendations that you make?
When the parliamentarians try to do anything, some countries don't welcome it. Even some parliamentarians from some countries don't welcome it, because they say this is an issue for the executive to hand. So it limits us. What we can do only is to make some proposals.
The recent attack by M23 rebels sparked protests in eastern DRC, with people accusing Rwanda and Uganda of supporting the rebel group. Uganda and Rwanda have both distanced themselves from the rebel group.
Some of the scholars argue that the reason as why there are protracted conflicts within Africa is as the result of greed by those pursuing to become leaders, taking advantage of the marginalized and poor communities. And that is exactly what has been happening in Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, that has more than 100 rebel groups. And therefore it will take concerted effort from the African Union to put to order, especially the neighboring states that have vested interest, and also the international community. Sudhir Yarhanga, NTV.